Okay, let me be honest with you. Anal is actually way less scary than people make it. If you are curious about anal, but also low-key terrified, you're not alone. I want you informed before you decide. Not talked into it, not shamed out of it, informed. I'm Karen Bigman, certified sex educator, sex and relationship expert, and the host of Taboo to Truth, where we talk about the things people are thinking about when it comes to sex in midlife, but are often afraid to say out loud. Today's episode is all about a topic most people are afraid of: anal sex. And the truth is, most people try anal for the first time the wrong way. Let's fix that. The topic of anal sex tends to trigger curiosity and intimidation at the same time. Before anyone tightens up or skips ahead, this is not an episode of what you should or shouldn't do. It's about giving you accurate information so curiosity doesn't get hijacked by fear, misinformation, or shame. Curiosity and intimidation often show up together, especially around sexual topics that were labeled taboo early in our lives. Taboo increases desire, not because something is wrong, but because forbidden topics carry mystery, intensity, and power. For many people, curiosity shows up during transition. Midlife, menopause, erectile changes, long-term relationships that feel predictable, or after divorce when people are relearning their bodies. New experiences can rebuild intimacy, but only when they're rooted in choice, not pressure. And an important reminder up front: pleasure exists for all genders. Curiosity about pleasure doesn't mean something missing. It often means you're paying attention. Pleasure isn't random, so let's talk about why this area can feel good. The anus is rich in nerve ending. It's connected to the pelvic floor, and it also sits close to structures involved in orgasm for all bodies. For people with vulvas, anal stimulation can enhance vaginal and clitoral sensation through shared nerve pathways and pelvic floor contraction. For people with penises, stimulation near the prostate, directly or indirectly, can intensify arousal and orgasm. This is your anatomy, folks. Pleasure here is about how the nervous system responds to sensation, safety, and curiosity, not about being extreme. Everyone has a butthole. This needs to be said plainly. Yes, you? Everyone has a butthole. It is not gendered. It's not a sexual orientation. It's not a personality trait. It's a part of the body that can be neutral, functional, or pleasurable, depending on choice. Once we remove the moral overlay, we're just talking about responding to touch. All bodies respond to touch. One of the biggest misconceptions is that butt stuff automatically means penetration. It doesn't. Butt stuff is an umbrella term. External touch counts. Fingers count. Toys count. Mouth counts. Pressure counts. Sensation counts. Penetration is one option, not the only entry point, and not necessarily the goal. Exploration does not require full-on escalation. However, we want to be safe, calm, not scared. STI risk exists with anal contact. That's physiology. Condoms are much more important because the skin is not lubricated. Unless you and your partner are fully fluid bonded and have had clear STI conversations and testing, condoms are a must. Pregnancy isn't part of the equation, but safety certainly is. And real safety doesn't start in the moment. It starts with preparation, information, and communication. For vulva owners, you also want to make sure that anything that penetrates the anal canal does not also penetrate the vaginal canal without being thoroughly cleaned. If you're using a condom, put a new one on before you go from one entry to the other. Fear of mess is incredibly common and usually exaggerated. The rectum is not a storage unit. Traces are possible. Full chaos is rare, but it can happen. Most anxiety comes from not understanding how the body works. Timing matters. Basic prep matters. And realistic expectations matter. If you are planning on engaging in anal play, try not to eat right before. Give your body some time to process the food. If you're someone that processes your food rather quickly, time it so that your bowels are moved. If you're worried, you can start with some kind of enema beforehand, but it is not necessary. Put a towel down, expect that there might be a couple of traces, and keep going on. Everybody popes. Let's reduce the anxiety a little bit. Let's start with being clear about the myths. Anal play should not hurt. Pain comes from rushing, skipping warm-up, and not using enough lube. Lube is mandatory. Slow is non-negotiable. Pain is not a rite of passage. It's information telling you to pause or stop. For many straight men, the block isn't physical, it's psychological. There's often fear that enjoying certain sensations inside your butt means you're less masculine. Could you be gay if you like things in your butt? What if you lose control? This is not about orientation, it's about attraction. Pleasure is about nerve endings. Enjoying touch does not redefine your identity. If you are heterosexual, and you might like something in your butt because it feels good. What shuts down pleasure for men most often is an anatomy. It's homophobia, performance pressure, and shame. And that shame didn't come from your body, it was taught. For vulva owners, the fears often look different. Many associate anal play with loss of control, being dominated, being expected to tolerate discomfort, or performing for someone else's fantasy. Let me be very clear. Consensual exploration is not submission unless you choose it. Curiosity doesn't mean that you have to do it. Women enjoy anal play because it feels intense or vulnerable. Some don't enjoy it, and that is equally valid. Pleasure without agency isn't pleasure, it's endurance. If you have hemorrhoids, this is a pause, not a push-through situation. When done correctly, anal play is still possible even with hemorrhoids. Many people experience stronger orgasms when anal play is paired with other stimulation. Whether you keep hair around there or not, it's a preference. And vaginal sex does not lose value because anal play exists. It's not a hierarchy. Now, a lot of people have had a bad first experience with anal play, usually because they were unprepared, uncommunicated, or under the influence of alcohol or other substances. That increases your risk. It dulls the sensation and speeds things up. One bad experience, however, is not a final verdict, and external play is always an option. Communication, though, is the foundation of all sex, but particularly in this situation. You deserve consent both ways. It's curiosity, not a demand. I might be interested, but I'm not pressuring you. Timing matters. How you ask matters. It's not a conversation you want to have mid-act or mid-argument. Respectful curiosity builds safety. Pressure kills it. Bottom line, you decide. Knowledge reduces fear. Everyone's body is capable of pleasure, but not everybody wants the same thing. Pleasure works best with preparation, safety, and choice. You do not owe anyone access to your body, but you do owe yourself accurate information. Curiosity deserves education. You're here, right? If this episode helped you understand something new about your body, your desire, or your boundaries, that's exactly why I'm here. Follow, subscribe, share with your friends and lovers, and remember, shame thrives in silence. Let's stop it right here.